Improvisation as a tool for expression. Module Overview. Module 4 of Musical Creativity and Expression dives into the dynamic and creative world of musical improvisation, an essential skill for musicians that allows them to spontaneously create music in real time, fostering a deeper connection with their emotional expression and audience. Improvisation is not just a performance skill, but a method for unlocking personal creativity, experimenting with new sounds, and expressing emotions without the constraints of predetermined structures or compositions. In this module, you will explore the theory and practice of improvisation across a variety of musical genres, including jazz, blues, classical, and contemporary styles. Emphasis will be placed on developing the ability to improvise both within traditional frameworks, such as jazz standards, and freely, as in experimental or avant-garde music. You will learn how to harness the elements of melody, rhythm, harmony, and timbre to create music spontaneously, developing fluency and creativity in their improvisational skills. The power of improvisation lies in its capacity to express emotion and capture the moment. The module will examine how improvisers can use their technical skills to reflect their emotions, thoughts, and personal experiences in a fluid and creative way. Moreover, you will engage in improvisational exercises that emphasize listening, responding, and adapting, which are key to successful improvisation in both solo and ensemble settings. Learning objectives. By the end of this module, you will understand the foundational principles of musical improvisation. Explore the role of improvisation in different genres, including jazz, blues, classical, and electronic music. Develop the skills to improvise within set structures, such as chord progressions, and freely without predetermined patterns. Learn to use improvisation to enhance emotional expression and musical storytelling. Gain confidence in their ability to improvise solo or in ensemble settings, responding to others musically in real time. Identify the benefits and challenges of improvisation in various musical contexts. Detailed breakdown of Module 4. 1. What is improvisation in music? Improvisation is the act of creating music spontaneously, often in response to an immediate musical environment. While some might think of improvisation as making it up on the spot, it is, in fact, a learned skill that requires deep knowledge of musical structures, techniques, and a strong sense of intuition. In this section, we will define improvisation in a musical context and explore its evolution from its early use in folk and classical traditions to its prominence in jazz and contemporary music. Spontaneous creation versus predetermined composition. Unlike composed music, which is written and rehearsed ahead of time, improvisation happens in the moment, often as a reaction to surrounding musical elements, emotions, and even audience interaction. The role of improvisation in music history. From the art of improvising fugues in Baroque music to the free-form jazz solos of the 20th century, improvisation has been a core aspect of music across centuries. Classical composers like Mozart and Beethoven were known for improvising on the spot during performances. Improvisation versus spontaneous composition. While the terms can overlap, spontaneous composition often involves a more planned and structured approach, whereas improvisation is free, experimental, and unrestricted. 2. The elements of improvisation. Melody, harmony, rhythm, and timbre. Improvisation involves several musical elements, each one crucial in shaping the overall emotional impact of the music. In this section, we will examine how melody, harmony, rhythm, and timbre can be manipulated in real time to create coherent and expressive improvisations. Melody in improvisation. The improviser's ability to create melodic lines on the fly is a vital skill. These melodies may adhere to a predetermined chord progression, as in jazz or blues, or they may be more free-form, depending on the style and context of the improvisation. You will learn how to use scales, intervals, and motif development to craft compelling melodies. Harmony and chord progressions. Understanding how to navigate harmonic structures while improvising is critical. In jazz, for instance, improvisers use a set of chord changes as a framework, creating melodies and solos within those harmonic confines. This section will focus on how to recognize and navigate harmony in improvisation, using techniques like arpeggios, chord tones, and non-chord tones. Rhythm and syncopation. Rhythmic improvisation is about more than just playing in time. It's about experimenting with phrasing, syncopation, and irregular meters. Improvisers must be able to play off the beat, create polyrhythms, and experiment with rhythmic structures to add depth to their solos. Timbre and instrumentation. Each instrument has its own unique timbre, tone color, and improvisers can manipulate this by using various techniques like articulation, staccato, legato, dynamic variation, crescendo, decrescendo, and extended techniques, e.g., string bending, slap bass, to convey emotion. 3. Improvising within traditional structures. While some improvisation is entirely free, many forms of music include set structures or chord progressions that improvisers work within. This section will explore how musicians can improvise within these frameworks, expanding on existing material without losing the cohesiveness of the piece. Jazz standards. Jazz musicians commonly improvise over a set of chord changes known as a head, the main theme or melody, and changes, the chord progression. You will learn how to approach improvisation in this context, using scales, modes, and chord tones to create solo lines that fit within the harmonic structure. Blues improvisation. The 12-bar blues progression is a staple in both jazz and rock music, and improvising over it requires a different approach. The blues scale, pentatonic scale, and chromaticism are common tools used to create improvisations that are both melodic and emotionally resonant. Classical improvisation. Classical music has a rich tradition of improvisation, particularly in Baroque and early classical periods. While modern classical performances are generally not improvised, students will explore how musicians would have improvised cadenzas, solo sections, or ornamentation during performances. 4. Free improvisation. Beyond the structures. Free improvisation challenges musicians to abandon traditional structures and constraints. It requires a high degree of creativity, intuition, and collaboration. In this section, we will explore how free improvisation has evolved, particularly in the context of 20th and 21st century music, including experimental and avant-garde genres. The philosophy of free improvisation. Free improvisation often reflects a belief in music as a form of self-expression and spontaneity. This section will cover the artistic philosophy behind free improvisation and how it allows musicians to explore sound without predetermined goals or rules. Collaboration in free improvisation. While free improvisation can be solo, it is often a group activity. Listening, responding, and interacting with other musicians in real time are essential elements of the process. You will learn how to collaborate musically, responding to both explicit and implicit cues from fellow performers. Notable free improvisers and their influence. Exploring the works of musicians like John Cage, Derek Bailey, and Anthony Braxton, this section will illustrate how free improvisation has shaped contemporary music and influenced genres such as experimental jazz, noise music, and postmodern classical music. 5. The emotional impact of improvisation. Improvisation is inherently emotional. Musicians use it to express their feelings, thoughts, and internal experiences. In this section, we will discuss how improvisation serves as a medium for emotional communication, allowing musicians to convey complex emotional states in real time. Improvisation as emotional expression. Whether creating spontaneous melodies in a jazz solo or exploring abstract textures in free improvisation, musicians use their instruments to translate emotions into sound. You will learn how to channel their emotions into their music, creating personal and impactful performances. Building a musical dialogue. In group improvisation, the interaction between performers creates a shared emotional experience. This section will explore how improvisers can build musical conversations with each other, responding to mood shifts, tension, and release, and building complex emotional landscapes within the performance. Conclusion of Module 4. Module 4 provides a comprehensive understanding of musical improvisation as both a technical skill and a form of emotional expression. You will leave the module with the tools to improvise across different genres, from structured forms like jazz and blues to the free improvisation of experimental music. By practicing improvisation, you will gain confidence in their ability to create music in real time, responding intuitively to the musical environment around them.